Welcome back. Just before the holidays, our other secondary ELA specialist, Jennifer Duda, hosted some high school ELA teachers in a workshop to increase student rigor. Let's go check it out.
We're going to talk about the expectations that we're setting for our students and how we communicate those expectations to them, whether we're communicating them verbally, whether we're communicating them through how we're interacting with them in the classroom. We have a few reasons for looking at rigor tonight. One of them is, are the tasks that we're asking students to accomplish, in fact, aligned to the standards? Are they actually meeting the demands of those standards? Because the demands of the standards are rigorous. And really for students to be ready for college and career in today's times, they need to be doing those rigorous tasks. And they need to show that they can do them on their own and not just with groups of other students. Last reflection on growth mindset and thinking about ourselves. We're always thinking about our students, right? And what they're thinking, but we also, of course, in this process want to think about ourselves as instructors, right? Okay, because we're constantly reflecting on our practice. Am I a good teacher? Am I doing the right things? And we have these thoughts about our about ourselves as instructors and our practice, and we want to keep this spectrum in mind when it comes to ourselves as educators as well. So this isn't just about your students, okay? This is about you as an educator as well. Really, the shift here in this training is that teachers are learning about this through self-discovery and teacher interaction. As you can see behind me, we have teachers who are engaged in looking at some student tasks and determining if the rigor is there, and then they're going to be talking with one another about why they believe the tasks are rigorous or not.
Implement peer assessment using the FSA writing rubric. That's actually what I had written down. FSA writing rubric, but not just self-assessment.
And one of the ways that we're really bringing this home to them is we're talking about the work that they're going to be doing in their own classrooms, and they're also going to be crafting action steps. So what they're learning at the training tonight is really actually going to transfer to their classroom and live on. That's our hope.
Read it out and actually do that chart for those mathematical.
So we are completely revamping PD in the ELA department. Starting with as soon as you walk in. We just really want it to feel like a professional environment in the regards that we are having sponsors come in and bring food so that, when you leave your school and you have to rush over to a training, there's not a lot of time to stop and eat, and let's be honest, none of us can think when we're hungry. So that's one way we do it. We have also offered door prizes for those who are in attendance, and we've certainly tried to make it more of a workshop model because nobody wants to listen to your instructor talk the entire time. So we're really allowing the teachers to collaborate together and take away not just one or two ideas, but just a multitude of new strategies that they can implement into their classrooms.
I totally am. Brittany's like, I want to believe they're all pluses.
I definitely really enjoyed the part about the self-assessment and the peer assessment. I think that'd be really huge in both my reading and English classes, especially with the amount of writing we have to do. For them to be able to evaluate themselves and also have a peer who maybe is a good friend who can be honest with them to give them a good process of how to perform better to what is needed by a rubric. I think it's very important. This is probably my second or third one so far this year. And just to give me ideas of what to do in class is huge. Because I think that's where I struggle the most, is just having new ideas to keep the kids fresh. Unlike a veteran teacher would have all these kind of tricks or just a lot of them in their bag. As a new teacher, I need those tricks to be able to use myself as much as possible, I think.
She has a lot of students that do participate, but the ones that don't say anything, that kind of reserved, they build up this answer in their head, but before they say anything, someone else says it, but she didn't go further beyond that, saying, did they actually say something then? That's the only reason why I'm saying that.
And it is hard when you're only seeing a snippet like that, because you really don't know.
In this training, I was self-assessing myself by saying, what am I doing for my students? What am I doing with them? And I realized that I had a lot of L1, L2 levels, but now I realize that I can take it to the next, to level 3, level 4 by simple strategies I learned from this training. One of the biggest points that I grasped from this was when having a class discussion, having the teacher be a participant in the discussion provides the students to be comfortable with the discussion and also provides them to have a teaching opportunity as well. So that was my favorite point from this training by far.
Because I think pushes it, because everyone's engaged, they're all doing it.
So we are hoping that the teachers leave with an overall understanding of the need for professional development. We just really wanted to change the climate and to inspire them to release the thinking to their students, particularly with our rigor and release training. It's just really important that as teachers we know that we have these opportunities to grow, and that we can always take next steps so that we can develop and become better to make sure that our students in fact are gaining that knowledge and retaining that knowledge, and we're really putting them in the right position to be successful throughout their careers.
They're doing the thinking, we're doing the facilitating, and you're right, that control needs to be there first, and once we have that piece, then we're able to push them because they're primed and ready. That Kristen and I have been very committed to this year is not just talking about, how we need to release the thinking to students, but Kristen and I have been, we're very cognizant of the fact that we need to do that in trainings, that we need to release the thinking to our teachers, and that our teachers need time to discuss these concepts with one another, to experience them on their own and discover their own thinking on the topic rather than being told what to think about the topic. So we are on a mission to accomplish that this year, and I think that so far we're doing a pretty good job of that.
Well, that's our show for today. Be sure to check out our website and our YouTube channel to see all of our past episodes of Literocity. I'm Chastity Downing, and we'll see you next time.